This is a video tutorial on the Siemens SC2000 machine, and I will highlight some of the key features and basic imaging function. When you plug the machine in, you have to be sure that the power light is flashing green before you press it. This machine takes a while to load, so you will have to give it time to warm up. Now, to find a patient on the work list, you look in the left upper corner here. Use the select button at the bottom to bring up the work list. Now, if a order is placed in Epic and loaded on the machine via the network, you will click the network button here to find the patient, and the patient will show up in the list down here. You simply double click on the patient to open up the study. Now, the sonographer may put the study in the local list before they bring the machine up, so you can also check here as well. Now, there are times where we may have to enter the patient demographics manually. You use this button here. Sorry, I'm going to get rid of this error message. So use this button here to enter in the demographics. So you need the typical last name, first name, and you can use the keyboard here. But more importantly, you will have to enter in the accession number for the patient, and you can get this off the order information sheet in Epic. You can select the probe that you will use by using the roller to left click on transducer, and the 10V4 is the pediatric transducer. We will have an 8 transducer as well that you can select, and then you can start imaging. Let's start with some of the 2D options. So looking at the workflow, just by selecting the 2D button, you can take 2D images. If you use the scroll wheel, you can increase or decrease the gain. Now, if you need to invert the field, simply click this UD invert button, and this will invert the image. Interestingly, this invert button over here does not function that way, so you have to use the button up here. So next to the 2D button, you have the color button, and this will bring up your color box. Now, the options for the color box, anything that's in green is activated. So the screen up here mirrors the control center down here. So if you want to change the size of the color box, you simply use the corresponding button, and then this changes the size. And you just use the scroller to change the size. If I need to change the position, I will just hit the button again to change the position. If I wanted to add pulse wave Doppler, I will just use this button for pulse wave. The cursor comes up, and then just using the wheel, I can change the position of the pulse wave sample, and then simply hit pulse wave again to bring up the field. Everything lives in the buttons on the Siemens machine, so anytime you need to insert a certain function, just usually you can get to it by pressing the button again. Say I'm on 2D and I want to freeze the image for measurement, I can just hit this freeze button here. And then for measurements, you can use this ruler tool. When you hit the ruler, the measurements come up on the side. And say I just want to do my typical LV study by M mode, I can find it over here. So there's some 2D measurements that come up, but also, so say going back, I just want to add M mode. So click the M mode button, my cursor comes up, I hit the M mode button again, and then I'll hit freeze. And theoretically there will be M mode of the LV, and I will just hit the measurement button again to get my measurements for M mode. Now to take a measurement, you just simply use the scroller wheel and then use the left button to select the measurement. Say I want to reselect the measurement, I can just simply hit the, when you look at the settings, the select set is what I need to hit. So the corresponding button down here is right here. And now I can reselect the measurement. To acquire images, there are two buttons. So the movie reel will allow you to acquire a clip, and then the printer icon will allow you to select or capture a still image. So this is for clips, this is for still images. You have the Doppler option, so remember color, pulse, and continuous wave Doppler. If you need to adjust the scale or baseline, there are toggles here. Our preset will be set to capture 2-beat acquisitions, but you can change that by turning the wheel here. Actually, our preset will be set to 2 seconds. I apologize for the confusion. So 2 seconds. And you can adjust the seconds for capture here. There are toggles for depth and focus if you need to adjust that. For so here's one thing I want to highlight. So the zoom function, this zoom button, if you press it, it will just zoom in on the image and not really enhance the resolution. But if you want a zoom box to increase the resolution, you hit this res button here. And this will bring up a box, and you can adjust the position and size using this button here. So I'll just press this button, and you see in green, I can change the position and change the size. So if you want to review the images in a study, you hit this review button, and then thumbnails will pop up over here. You can use the left select button to select the thumbnail. Once you are done with the study, you can actually use either the checkbox or the stop sign for an exam. I wanted to highlight one other function. If you are using pulse wave Doppler you can update the Doppler by using this update button to go back to the image and move the sample volume if needed. This wheel in the middle actions like a scroll wheel, like on a mouse that you would use for a computer. So if you were reviewing the images, you can scroll up and down using that. If you would like to view both 2D and color side by side, you can do that by using the dual button here. If you would like to add images to a patient or addend a study, you simply go to the work list and then click on the patient, and then go down to the bottom and hit this white folder, and this will open up the study again, and then you can simply start acquiring images to restart the study or add more images. After you're finished, simply end exam again, and then you can turn the power off. Remember to let it completely shut down, and when the light is blinking,